Hi everyone, this is Stacy. I am back again today with another Cricut Explore video. For today's video, I thought we would go ahead and try our hand at creating our own subway art. I have these two photo frames that I want to put on each side of my mantle, but rather than putting a photo in it, I thought to be fun and different, let's try subway art. And all subway art is a group of letters or words in a frame. So I have these two frames. Like I said, the first thing I did was measure my frame so I know what size area I'm working with. These are a 5x7 frame, but I took the back off the frame here. This little cardboard piece, I want to use this as my guide, as my template. So I just took my ruler or my grid mat and I measured the cardboard piece. It measures 6 3/4 this way and 4 3/4 that way. So in Design Space, I'll make a template this size so I know I can't go past that area. But to be on the safe side, I'll make this a 1/4 inch smaller. So I'll make my template a 4.5 by 6.5. So I have a little bit of wiggle room. Alright, now, if I use just the cardboard, it'll look kind of funny. So I wanted to put pattern paper behind that. So I have these two pieces here. This is from Stampin' Up, but it's a really pretty gray color. And I chose gray because my living room is mainly black and maroon, and I wanted a little bit of gray to break it up a little bit. And you can see how pretty that looks. I love the soft color of the gray against the bold black. And my vinyl I'm using is a maroon color, or in the maroon family color vinyl. This is 12 inches wide by 8 inches tall. Again, just to allow me a little bit of wiggle room on my vinyl. Now when you apply your vinyl, you can do it one of two ways. You can apply it on your glass on the outside, which is fine, or you can apply it on the inside of your glass to where if you're touching your glass, you won't feel the vinyl, which is a mirror image, and we'll be doing it that way. So I can clean the glass with Windex. I know over time I'm not going to interfere with the vinyl or make the vinyl wear down. Even though this is an outdoor vinyl, I think it'll be fine, but I'd rather have it on the inside of my frame. Alright, so I have my frames. I have my paper for my template or my background. I have my template. Let's go ahead and go to the Cricut Design Space and start creating our subway art. Alright guys, we're now at the computer. Let's go ahead and go to the Cricut Design Space webpage so we can start being our own designer and creating our own subway art. Alright, we're going to see this screen here. Let's go ahead and log in like we normally would by clicking on that green box. Enter in your email and your password. Now if you are not familiar with subway art, let me open a new tab here so I can kind of show you what that looks like. I'm going to type in subway art, so at least you'll have an idea of what we're creating, right? Go to images, and you will see it's basically a bunch of words kind of together. So if I click on this one here, see how that looks like that? Different size words and different directions. That's kind of what we're making. Alright, so we're at this screen. We logged in. We can see our name there. Let's go ahead and click on Create New Project. Now the first thing I want to create is our template. I'm going to go to Insert Images. I'm going to go to All Images, type in the word square, hit Enter on our keyboard. Alright, grab a square, and again, we're not going to cut this out. We're using it as a template or as a guide so we can size this correctly. We have our square selected. Let's go to our Edit panel, and we're going to need to unlock the lock right there. So I'm going to click on that to open the lock. Now our width, I'm going to make 4.5, hit Enter on my keyboard. The height, we're going to do 6.5 and hit Enter on the keyboard. And again, you can size this to whatever size frame you'd like. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and change the color of that as well. So go to my layer panel, click on the pink square there and change it to a color that you like. We'll go with that cream color. Alright, so we have our square. Now it's just a matter of adding our text. I'll be doing this for my family, so it'll be all family related. So I'm going to go to Add Text, and I'm going to type in the word family, capital F-A-M-I-L-Y. I'll move my layer tab aside. Now find a font that you like. And I will be using all Cricut fonts, so if you don't want to create this yourself, you know, you can email me and I will be more than happy to mail you the file. And I do have the subscription, so I'm not sure what fonts are included or what fonts you guys have, but I will be using all Cricut fonts. The first one here will be Don Juan. Alright, so there's that. I'm going to use these little handles. Let me zoom in on my screen here. So I'm going to go to my left toolbar on the bottom, click on that plus side, the plus sign, so you can see the box here a little bit bigger, a little better. Alright, so we have our word family selected. I'm going to go ahead and use these little dots on the side, take my mouse and drag it across to make that larger to fit inside my area here. Alright, I like that. Nice and bold for our main focal word. I do want to ungroup this though. Let me go ahead and click on it, right click, hit ungroup. Now we can use, ungroup. Alright, so now we can grab each letter by itself. I want to make my letter F a little bit larger so it stands out even more, like that. Alright, now you can see it's kind of touching, so just take each letter by L, use your arrows on your keyboard, and kind of just scooch it over a little bit. Okay. Oh, didn't do my Y there. Alright, take the M and scooch that over as well. And our A. And I'm just using the arrow keys. Alright, there. That looks really cute, I think. Alright, now we want to go and add more words. Let's go back to add text. This time, let's do another large word. We're going to do laughter. And again, we want to change our font from Don Juan. Let's find something else that we like. And there are so many fonts on here. Let me see, we have, you know what, I seen one earlier. Let me go back up to the very top. We have Alphalicious. I like that font. Was it Alphalicious? No, Ashland's Alphabet. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to use the Ashland Alphabet. I kind of like that one. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing. Make this one larger. Okay, bring it down here to our bottom. A little bit higher there. Make sure it fits inside our frame. I'm going to leave that one the way it is. I kind of like that one. Alright, now let's go back and add another word. Let's do, how about, I know, we'll do memories. Oops, spell it correctly. Alright, and again, we want to change our font. This time we'll go with, oh, it's so hard to choose a font. Alright, we have Country Life, which is similar to Storybook. I kind of like that one. Alright, now I want to rotate this one. So to rotate it, you want to click on that little circle there, hold down your shift button, and then you just turn it, and it kind of keeps it in proportion. I want to make it a little bit smaller. I want to put that right here on the side. You know, the whole idea is you want your words to be kind of different. Okay, so I like that one there. Let's grab another word. Let's do the word special. Alright, and again, let's change our font to something else here. We're just going to keep on going down the alphabet. Alright, so we have cutting up. Yeah, I'm not quite sure about that one. Alright, we already used Don Juan. Alright, we have the everyday fonts. We have everyday fonts. A is for Alice. Let's look at that one. Okay, kind of plain Jane. Let's see if there's another one there. Everyday fonts. This is called announcement. It's kind of bold. Alright, let's try another one. Everyday fonts, best of times. I kind of like that one. What do you think? I think I might go with that one. This one is called Big Day. Let's see the difference. Yeah, I like the other one. The Everyday Fonts Announcement. Nope. It was Best of Times. Okay. Alright, so now again, we want to make this one larger. Scooch this out of the way. Alright, so we can kind of play with these like that. Yeah, I'm not quite sure if I like that one now that I'm looking at it. No, I don't like it. I'm not liking the C. It's kind of throwing me off. Alright, let's go back and find another one. Alright, how about Go Canada? That's like a little chunkier font. Alright, I'm looking again. Let me see, we have Gypsy Monogram. Nope. We have, what is this one? Jubilee. Let's see that one. Okay, that was not too bad. We can kind of stretch it out a little bit like that. I'm not sold on that one though. Yeah, I'm not liking, maybe it's the word. I don't like the word there. Alright, let's bring the word down. That could be my issue. Alright, let's bring it over there. Yeah, I'm not liking the eye. Can you see the eye on that one right there? It's kind of connected. And I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that one at all. Alright, I'm sorry guys. Let me try Jubilee Runt. See if that makes a difference. Yeah, I like that one better. Alright, now I can try that one up there. Okay, I like that one. Alright, let's go back and do another one. The word happy. I'm going to try to hurry now. How about Kate's ABCs? Okay, I like that one. What I'm going to do here, I'm also going to ungroup this one. Ungroup, oops, go back. Okay, ungrouped it, take my letters this time, I'm going to make them go vertical like this, but I'm going to actually have the word go vertical. So bring my A down, my P down, my other P, and my Y. We need to bring this one up a little bit. So you can see, you know, you can really play around with these. Oops, undo that. Okay. And really make it your own, which I do like. Yeah, I kind of like that one. Alright, let's go ahead and insert an image as well. Let's go to get rid of the word square and just try a heart. Hit enter. I'm just going to choose a basic heart. Real simple. I like this one. Oh, let's just do this one. Just a plain heart. Insert that. It's kind of wonky looking, which I like. Alright, sorry about that guys, my camera had insufficient space. Alright, so I think the last thing we did was the heart. Let's go ahead and add a few more words. So we have, let's do the word joy, nice little small word. Again, we're going to change our font to something we like. We have Kate's ABCs there. Let's do, let me see, library 2. See what that looks like. Okay, then we have library 3. Alright, I kind of like that one. Nice and simple, right? Alright, so let's move this out of the way. Make this one a little bit larger. I'm actually going to make these letters closer together. To do that, under my edit panel, there's a line spacing and letter spacing. Just make that smaller and you'll see the letters. You can see there, the letters go closer together. Okay, I like that one better. Alright, we'll bring that guy up here. I'm going to bring my heart down a little bit more. Alright, now we need another word. Let's do love. Okay, L-O-V-E. And change our font as well. That Megan the Grade one was really cute, but it was not free. It was $4.99, and I'm not one to pay for fonts. You know, you can most certainly do this with fonts you download as well. Alright, so we have Noah's ABCs. Let's see what that one looks like. Am I stuck? Oh, no, okay, I thought I was frozen for a moment. I like that one. And we can make this one go a little bit like that. Alright, but I need something else here, right? I need like this to be larger. You know what? Let's see if we can change this. I'm going to ungroup it. Ungroup. Alright, take my V and I'll bring this down here. Like that. Yeah, I'm not liking the way it's lining up. Alright, I'm going to delete that. I didn't like that. Hit delete on my keyboard. Oops, it's like my O. Delete. My V and delete. And my E. Alright, let's go back and add that word again. Let me see. Let me do another word there, maybe? A different word? I think we will. Let's go ahead and do a different word. We're going to do patient. Okay. Alright, we're going to still use the Nate's ABCs. Bring this one down here. Make it a little bit smaller. Yeah, I'm not sure if I like that word. Alright, you know what? We're going to make it larger, like that. Okay, so we're going to skew it a little bit. Alright, so what do you think? There's our own subway art. Alright, so we're done with that. I'm going to go in the background, move that out of my way, and hit delete. We no longer need that. That was just for our template. Alright, now to make sure all this cuts out the same exact way we have it here, we want to do one thing. take your mouse, hold it down, your left mouse button, and drag a blue box around the entire thing. When you release your mouse, make sure you see a box around all your letters. Go up top, hit select all, and we're going to go to our layer panel and click on attach. You will see it's going to change all the colors to the same color, which is what we want. So there's our design. Let's go ahead and hit go. And I have my vinyl already on my mat. I have my machine custom dial set to vinyl. Now remember, I said I want to do 2 copies of this and also a mirror image. So we're going to do that on this screen. Once this loads up. Alright, so we have our word here. Up top it says how many projects do you want to make. We're going to go and change this from a 1 to a 2. Hit apply and you'll see it's going to come up another one. The bottom down here, there's a mirror image button. We want to make sure that is checked. So it's going to cut out in reverse. Alright, so now that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and move this one over a little bit. Just so they're not so close together. Alright, so that looks good. Let's go ahead and hit go. And when it asks me to load the mat, we'll do that. And I will take you guys to the Cricut and we shall see it cut. And I have my phone on. I'm following NASCAR. So I haven't recorded, but just so you know, Jimmy Johnson won the Coca-Cola. My man Kyle Busch did not do very good today. Alright, so we have that. Alright, it's asking us to load our machine. Let's go ahead and take you guys over here and bring you guys down. Alright, now for my vinyl, what I do is I have this dowel rod. I use this to make sure things go down nice and flat. So you can see I just kind of roll that across my mat there, or on my vinyl. Alright, let's go ahead and put this in there. Let's hit the go button. And we're going to hit the go button. Yes, I was really happy that Jimmy Johnson won. It was his first time winning NASCAR this year, so I was happy. And, you know, the race, probably within like the, I don't know, maybe the 50th lap or so, Kyle Busch was like a lap down. He was so far behind. I'm not sure what his problem was today, but he did not do good. So I'm happy that Jimmy Johnson won. I'm a huge NASCAR and football fan. I live in Jacksonville, Florida, so you'd think I'd be a Jaguars fan. I do root for the Jaguars. I want to, you know, this is the home team. I do want them to do well. But I am a Steelers fan. And a Green Bay Packer fan. My husband is a St. Louis Rams fan. You can laugh. I do all the time. I kind of tease him. He always comes back and says, well, they did win the Super Bowl in '99, and they did. But yeah, we're big football and NASCAR. I didn't really like football at all in the beginning. You know, my husband he'd watch every Sunday or Thursday or Monday whenever the game was on, and I would just watch it with him because nothing else was on TV other than football. And I started asking all kinds of questions, and I think I almost annoyed him because I was like, what's that mean? What's this mean? What's a tackle? What's this? What's that? You know? And the more he told me what it was, the more I understood the game. You know, I think if you understand the game, you learn to like the game because you actually know what's going on. So, you know, I started watching it, and, you know, I would learn things, and he would say, oh, what's that? And I'm like, oh, what's this? Or, you know, they did a 2-point conversion or something like that, you know. And I became a football fan. Kind of ironic. I never thought I would be a football fan, but I am. And we watched the draft this year. I'm not as big as he is. Like, I don't know all the other people or players or what positions mean. But I still enjoy it. Alright, so I'm going to pause the video. I don't normally pause the video, but this is going to take a really long time cutting this out. You know, we have all this one to do, and then that one. I will come back when this one's almost done, and we'll continue to cut so you can see it finished, and then we'll take it to the Cricut or my craft room table, and we'll put it on our glass. So see you guys in a few minutes. Hey guys, we're back with the Cricut Explorer cutting vinyl for our subway art. I think we're just about done. It's kind of hard to look. I was trying to put my head in there and see where we are as far as the cutting, but I figure we'll hang out for a few more minutes and watch it finish cutting. In total, I would say this takes about maybe 5 minutes or so to cut out. A lot of words, and plus I'm doing 2 of them. And these make a really great gift as well. You know, with the holidays coming up, not really, we're not even at June yet, but I like to do my shopping early. great way. You can get an 8x10 frame and personalize this for a family. You could put their family name, like how we did family. You could put their last name there, put all the members of the family, including their pets and whatnot, and personalize it for them. Really nice little gift, and it cost you maybe a few bucks with the vinyl and the frame. Alright, that is done. You probably can't see it. Let's take it to my craft table, and we're going to weed it and put it on our glass. Alright, we are back at my table. I'm fixing to take the other piece of my glass out of my frame so I can clean the glass first. I'm going to set all this aside. All my frame pieces. I have my 2 pieces of glass. Now what I use to clean my glass is a paper towel and rubbing alcohol. I'm only going to clean one side of it, the side that our vinyl is going to go on. I like using rubbing alcohol because, for one, it dries really fast and it likely doesn't smear. Okay, just give each glass a little cleanup. And come back and dry it if need be. Alright, you want to make sure your glass or your surface is nice and clean before you apply your vinyl. You'll get better results that way. Alright, let's set it aside. Alright, now let's take our vinyl off our mat. Oh, my paper stuck there a little bit. My mat is really sticky. Alright, we have that. Set my mat down on my floor. Alright, I'm going to cut this in half to make it a little bit easier to work with. Let me find right here. I'm only going to do one on camera, otherwise the video will be forever long. Let's go ahead and I'm going to use this little tool here. I mentioned that before. It's a little Cricut. It came in the original Cricut toolkit. I love this tool though for weeding vinyl. Alright, you want to go nice and slow here. Take your tool and get out your inner parts of your letters so it gets kind of stuck. And you want to go slow, making sure all your letters stay intact. Okay, looks good so far. I'm going to fold this over on itself. Okay, keep on going. Alright, let's grab this little part there. Alright, we're good to go there. That came off really nice. Alright, now we want to take the inner parts of our letters out. Alright. And I gotta get that little E. That's the itty bitty one there. Let's give you guys that. I'm trying to get this E out there. It's giving me a little bit of issue. I got it. Patience. If my husband watches this video, he'll laugh because I have very little patience. Alright, let's get the letter of this one out of there. There we go. I'm just getting the excess vinyl off my fingers because it will drive me crazy having that stuck to myself. Alright, let's grab that one. Alright. The E here. Okay, we're good. We got our E down here. And like I said, you guys can most certainly use fonts you download. But I just wanted to show it to you using just a regular, installed Cricut fonts. Or at least the ones that came with the subscription. Alright, so we have that. Let's touch my fingers again. Hang on. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, the easiest way to do this, to apply it to our frame, normally we would take this and lay it down this way. Oh, you can't even see. Hang on. Okay. I have all that taken out. You can see there. Normally we would take this and lay it down this way on our frame and then get it lined up. I find that to be too finicky. What I'm going to do is take my transfer tape, and this is the clear stuff. I was asked before where I get this from. I get this from a website called Cricut Vinyl Supplies. It's about $30 or so. You get like a lot of yards with it. I had that roll for years, literally years, and it's lasted me a really long time. I'll put the link below so you can, if you want to look at that, you can. But you can also, I'm sure, get it at like Amazon.com as well. So I'm going to lay my vinyl or my tape down on this part. I guess that part. Once you get it on there, you really can't get it back up. Find a credit card of some sort and scooch it down. Alright, so get that lined up and then kind of just go back and forth. I got a few dog hairs in there. Do you see that? Dog hairs are included, right? Buster's part of the family. Alright, so we're going to take this off. You want to go slow, making sure everything stays with your frame. Alright, now what I'm going to do is lay this flat. Now, I'm going to line this up, my words, up with my grid mat here to make sure my words are straight. Okay, you can kind of see that. Just take a word and line it down straight like that. Alright, the trick is getting your fingers off. Alright, so line that up. Now for me, the easiest way to do this is take my glass, I'll flip it over so I have my dirty side this way, and I'm going to kind of just plop this down and hope that it's going to be lined up. Okay, literally I'm just going to drop it. Ooh, I got nervous. Okay, give it a squish, flip it over, and I'm going to rub. I think I got a little bit, I may be too far to the one side, but it's a homemade project, right? So give this a good rub. Now we're going to take our tape off. Okay, so, and I like to do, when I take tape off, I like laying my tape flat against the surface. I find doing it that way prevents air bubbles. I'm going to just give it another good rub here. Make sure everything's on there really well. I got a few wrinkles in my tape, but I'm hoping it's not going to interfere with my design. Alright, let's take this off. And I'm going to take a piece of paper toweling and use that to hold my glass down to get less fingerprints on there. Okay, so just go nice and slow, and I'm leaving my tape flat against my glass, okay? I do find that works really well as far as reducing air bubbles. And this tape, I do reuse this, so I'll put this back on my roll and I will reuse it for my second frame that I'm going to do. Alright, this actually looks pretty good. Alright, so we have that. Let's go ahead and put this down here. Let's flip this over. Oh, look at that. Isn't that nice? Alright, let's take our frame. Let's see what this looks like in our frame. Let's reassemble our frame. We have our piece of glass, which is going to go in there first. Like that. Our piece of pattern paper will go in there next. Our cardboard insert. And then the backing of our frame. Fix these little guys here. Okay, and then close these guys up, and then we're going to do the ta-da moment, and hopefully it'll look okay, right? Alright, ready? 1, 2, 3. Ta-da! I think it looks pretty good. What do you guys think? I may be a tad bit crooked, but I think overall it looks really good. And I like the way the maroon looks against the black and against the gray. And it's inside our glass, so we can come back with our alcohol and clean this part of the frame. It's not going to interfere with our vinyl. I think it looks really cute. Alright, so I'm going to do the other one, and I'll post a picture of both frames at the end of the video. So, any questions, let me know. And as always, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.